If you just got PCS orders to Sheppard Air Force Base, or if you're retiring here and trying to figure out where to plant your roots, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through 3 neighborhoods that sit right outside the main gate, and I mean right outside. We're talking about a commute under 5 minutes from most of these streets to the flight line. Here's what makes these 3 stand out. They are completely different from each other. One is great for first-time home buyers on a tight BAH budget. One has that classic established military neighborhood feel. And one is where you go when you want new construction without paying the Dallas prices. Hi, my name is Tim Lockhart. I'm a retired Air Force officer, and I've been helping military families buy and sell homes in Wichita Falls since 2012. And I've made personal PCS moves, including 2 while deployed. So when I talk about what matters to a military family neighborhood, I'm not guessing, I've lived it. Let's start with Expressway Village. And honestly, if convenience is your #1 priority, then this is your neighborhood. Expressway Village sits right off of I-44 at Missile Road. And I mean literally just outside the main gate to Sheppard. We're talking about a sub 5-minute commute on most days. If you've ever been stationed somewhere with a brutal gate backup or a 30-minute drive to base, then you're really going to appreciate waking up here. The housing stock here is primarily single-family homes, a mix of established homes with newer construction. There has been active development in recent years, including some fresh builds that give you updated finishes, modern floor plans, and energy efficiency without blowing your budget. This isn't South Lake, this isn't a luxury suburb, and that's a good thing, because what you get here is real-world value. Homes priced to work with actual BAH, not inflated by tech worker California transplants. If you're using a VA loan, you can genuinely get into a solid home here and often keep money in your pocket at closing. The neighborhood has its own park, Expressway Village Park, which might sound like a small thing, but when you've got kids and a deployment cycle to manage, having a walkable green space in your own neighborhood matters. The people here are what you'd expect this close to Sheppard. Active duty, families, retirees, contractors, and civilian professionals who want the convenience of the corridor. It has a military feel community without being on base, and you have the culture and the camaraderie with the flexibility of homeownership. From Expressway Village, you've got fast access to everyday essentials, grocery stores, fast food, and restaurants, all clustered along I-44. And because you're right on the interstate, you can get to Burnett, Iowa Park, or downtown Wichita Falls in minutes. And if you need to make a run to DFW or Oklahoma City for a holiday weekend, then you're already pointed at the highway. This neighborhood is the right call if you want the shortest possible off-base commute. You want newer construction options, and you want to be in a neighborhood with that military DNA baked right in. It's especially good for buyers using VA financing who want to maximize their purchasing power. Bottom line, if you want to live as close to Sheppard as you can without actually living on base, Expressway Village needs to be on your list. The second neighborhood I want to talk to you about is Pilot Point. And this one is very close in proximity and has a slightly different personality than Expressway Village. Still very close to the base, you're still looking at that under 5-minute commute window. But Pilot Point has a little more of an established, settled-in feel. These are neighborhoods where people put down roots. You see mature trees, maintained yards, families that have been there a while mixed in with new arrivals in the PCS orders. Housing here covers a good range. You'll find homes that fit a variety of budgets and family sizes. The stock tends to be very solid, well-maintained single-family homes. Not flashy, but built to last and priced competitively for what you get. For a military family navigating VA financing, this range is actually a strength. You're not locked into one price point. E6 with a growing family, trying to stretch your BAH, or a senior NCO or officer looking for something with more space and a garage, there are solid options here. I always tell people about Pilot Point. It feels like a real neighborhood, not a subdivision that was built in 6 months and immediately felt generic. There's some history here. There's a sense of community. The mix you find in this area is what I call Sheppard tapestry. There are active duty families cycling through on orders. There's retirees who came here for their last tour and decided to make Wichita Falls their home. And there's DoD civilians and contractors who support the mission at the base, and local professionals. Everybody's living next door to somebody with a different story, and it works. This area is in close proximity to restaurants and daily services, and that means that you're not driving all across town for dinner on Tuesday night or a quick pharmacy run. That matters when you're managing a household solo during a TDY. Pilot Point is a great fit if you want an established neighborhood feeling, a diverse mix of neighbors, solid home values, and easy access to Base and I-44 without living in brand new development. It's especially appealing for mid-career service members and families looking for something move-in ready with character. Now let's talk about Eden Hills. And this one I have a soft spot for because I think it's underrated. Eden Hills is a little older than the other two that we've talked about. We're primarily looking at homes built in the 1960s through the 1980s. And before you check out, hear me out, because this is where there's some real value. In an older neighborhood that is close to the base, walkable, and priced in a range that opens the door for first-time homebuyers. The homes in Eden Hills tend to be smaller, more modest square footage, smaller lots compared to newer construction. But what you get is character. Brick construction, mature landscapes, and solid bones. For a young airman or junior NCO who's buying their first home and using their VA benefits for the first time, Eden Hills can be where that story starts. You're not over-leveraged on a massive mortgage. You're building equity, and you're in a neighborhood that has stood the test of time. Now, some homes here will need updating. That's honest. Kitchen and bathrooms in the 1970s home are going to look like a 1970s home. But for the right buyer, someone who isn't afraid of a little cosmetic work, or someone who just needs a solid, affordable entry point, the math often works out very well. Eden Hills has that community feel that newer neighborhoods sometimes struggle to build in the first few years. When trees have been growing for 40 or 50 years, when the streets know their history, there's a comfort to that. It's rootedness. You'll find retirees here who have been in the neighborhood for decades. You'll find young military families who discovered the value and are putting down their first homeownership stake. The walkability is good. Getting to base is very quick. Access to I-44 and the commercial corridor is right there. Eden Hills is the move for first-time home buyers who want to maximize their VA loan buying power. Buyers who want character and established charm over the new construction. And anyone who wants to keep their monthly costs lower while still living in a tight-knit neighborhood close to Sheppard. I've helped buyers get into Eden Hills homes at price points that let them build real equity, especially when the market was competitive in other parts of Wichita Falls. So don't sleep on it. I know some of you may be making this decision in a narrow PCS window, and you need clarity, not more questions. If you want the absolute shortest commute and want new construction options, Expressway Village is a great option. You're right at the gate. There are newer homes in the area, and it's priced for real-world BAH budgets. If you want an established feel with a mix of neighbors and solid home values across a range of budgets, Pilot Point. This is where the Sheppard community has been planning routes for decades, and there are some reasons people stay there. If you're a first-time home buyer using a VA loan for the first time and you want to get into home ownership without overextending yourself, then Eden Hills. The homes are smaller and older, but the price value is real, and the neighborhood has character, and your BAH dollar goes further here. Now, here's what all three of these neighborhoods share. They're all under a 5-minute commute to Sheppard's main gate. They all have that military feel culture where your neighbors really get it. They understand deployments, TDY, duty hours, and what it means to be a military family. They're all walkable. They all have close access to restaurants, shopping, and I-44. And they all represent real value compared to what you'd pay in a major Texas metro for far less convenience. Picking the right neighborhood is one of the most important decisions in a PCS move. The commute, the neighbors, the home itself, it all shapes your quality of life for your entire tour. And if you end up buying, it shapes your financial picture for years. I've been doing this in Wichita Falls since 2012, and I've helped hundreds of military families navigate exactly what you're navigating right now. And I can tell you the right neighborhood exists for your family. We just have to find it. If you're PCSing to Sheppard or retiring here, reach out to me directly. I'll give you a real, honest assessment of what the market looks like right now, what homes are available in these neighborhoods, and what your VA loan buying power actually gets you. No pressure, no sales pitch, just real information from someone who has walked in your boots. The link to reach me is in the description. And while you're down there, subscribe to the channel. I drop content specifically for military families and veterans navigating real estate in North Texas every week. And if this video has helped you, share it. Forward it to a spouse in a Facebook group, or if you see somebody who's just posted that we're PCSing to Sheppard, where do we live? That's why I make these. So I'm Tim Lockhart with Keller Williams Realty, the Lockhart Real Estate Team, and I'll see you on the next one.